Hello everyone, welcome to the video lecture series on electronic devices and circuits. Today we are going to start our first module, that is Introduction to Electronic Devices. In first module we have to study different electronic devices like diode, BJT, JFET and MOSFET. So today we are going to study PN junction diode. So before starting the construction and working of diode, let's see some important basic concepts related to PN junction diode. Semiconductors. What do you mean by semiconductors? Yes? Right. Semiconductors are having the conductivity between good conductors and insulators. Do you know the different semiconductor materials? There are two types of semiconductor materials. First are single crystal and second one are the compound crystals. So examples of single crystal are silicon and germanium, and compound crystals are gallium arsenide, cadmium sulfide, gallium nitride. So which semiconductor material is better? Here we are going to discuss about the single crystal semiconductor material. Which one is better? Do you know? So if we consider germanium and silicon, we are having band gap between germanium and silicon. So silicon is having a band gap of 0.7 electron volt, while silicon is having a band gap of 1.1 electron volt. So this germanium is having less band gap compared to the silicon, and due to this less band gap we can say, what happens, there is a higher concentration of electrons in this germanium material. That means the density of electrons in conduction band is more in case of germanium. That density is nearly equals to 10 raised to 13 electrons per cubic centimeter, while in case of silicon, as compared to germanium, silicon is having higher band gap, and due to that the concentration of electrons is comparatively less in case of silicon materials, that is nearly equal to 10 raised to 10 electrons per cubic centimeter. Now, and this is related with the band gap, and due to this band gap we have seen that there is a different concentration of electrons. In germanium more concentration is there compared with the silicon. One more thing is there, due to this band gap, what happens, the germanium devices are more sensitive to the temperature. That means the performance parameters of germanium are dependent on temperature, or they are varying according with the temperature. Now here I have given you the comparison point of silicon and germanium materials. Now based on these two comparison points, now you can find out the answer for this question. Pause the video for 10 or 5 seconds and write down your answers in your notebook for this question. I repeat the question, which semiconductor material is better? Pause the video, think over the points just I have discussed with you. Yes? Okay. So here is the answer. Silicon is better than germanium. So as we have discussed that germanium devices are sensitive to the temperature. That's why silicon is considered as a better material, semiconductor material, than germanium. Now these semiconductors are of two types, intrinsic semiconductor and extrinsic semiconductor. So what is intrinsic semiconductor? The semiconductor in pure form are called as intrinsic semiconductor. And what do you mean by extrinsic semiconductors? Yes, the semiconductors in which some form of impurity is added, that are the extrinsic semiconductors. There are two types of extrinsic semiconductors, that are p-type semiconductors and n-type semiconductor material. So the amount of impurity is added with the help of doping process, and based on that we'll get the p and n type of semiconductor materials. Now when we add trivalent impurity in a semiconductor material, then we'll get the p type of semiconductor material, and when we add the pentavalent impurity, we'll get the n type of semiconductor material. Now let's move towards the p and n type of semiconductor materials. So p type of material, and here I'll write down n type of material. I'll draw the structure for p and n type of material here. So this is the structure of p type of semiconductor material and n type of semiconductor material. These are nothing but holes present in the semiconductor material, and these are the acceptor ions. Similarly, these are electrons, and these are called as donor ions, or it is also called as a positive donor ion, and it is called as a negative acceptor ion. Now tell me, what are the majority carriers for p type of material as well as for n type of materials? So right, the majority carriers for p type of materials are nothing but holes, and for n type these are the electrons. Similarly, minority carriers for p type of material are electrons, and for n type of material these are the holes. Okay, so this PN junction diode, it consists of the p and n type of materials suitably joined. Now we'll see the construction of PN junction diode. Construction of PN junction diode. So when a p type of material, this is p type, is suitably joined with the n type. Actually this p type and n type, this is formed on a single semiconductor material. One semiconductor material is taken, one side of that material is doped, so that we'll get the p type of material, and remaining part is doped to get the n type. By this way we'll get the PN junction within a single semiconductor material. So what happens when such type of formation is done at this p type of material? We are having here acceptor ions, and here we are having the donor ions with the electrons. Like this we are having the structure for N and P type of materials. Excess electrons or majority of electrons for N type and majority of holes for the P type. So whenever two materials are formed, there is a tendency of free carriers of one type to move to the other type. So if we see, the free carriers in N type are nothing but the electrons, and here the free carriers are nothing but the holes. So these electrons are moving or crossing this junction, and these are going to combine with this holes. Okay, similarly we can in other way we can say that holes are moving from this side to this side, and they are going to combine with the electrons. So when this happens, what happens here? So electrons have moved here, so will remain here only the donor ions, and here we'll have the acceptor ions. This is P and this is N type. So the electrons have moved from this ion to this ion, and that's why this is only a donor ion and this is only the acceptor ion. So such type of formation is done near the junction. This is called as the diffusion process of electrons as well as holes, and due to this what happens, a positive charge is created near this junction towards the N type of material, and a negative charge is developed at the junction towards the P type of material. This is called as this layer created here is called as a depletion layer, and this potential developed is called as a potential barrier. For silicon materials it is having 0.7, and for germanium it is having 0.3 volt. Now we'll see this formation in terms of the animation. So here it is P type of material, N type of material, semiconductors, N type and P type are brought together, then electrons have leave these ions and go here. So the depletion layer is formed and a potential difference is set up across the depletion layer. Once again, two are joined, electrons are moving from this to this. Diffusion process occurs. The depletion region is created, which is void of electrons and holes, and a potential difference is set up. Holes and electrons migrate. The depletion layer is formed. A potential difference is set up across the depletion region. So all of you get understanding this? It is called as a depletion layer because it is in this depletion layer there are no free carriers, means all the electrons near the junction have moved here and all the holes have moved here. So no free carriers are available here, and that's why what happens, it is called as a depletion layer. So this is the PN junction. So by this way we'll get the PN junction. So here we have obtained the PN junction. When the metallic contacts are connected to both the sides, this is the metallic contact. Okay, and the leads are taken out from both the sides of this material, will get the PN junction diode. This is called as a PN junction diode. This terminal towards the P type of material is called as a anode, and this is called as a cathode, and this is the potential difference created due to the process of depletion. The symbol of PN junction diode is like this. This is anode and this is cathode. Anode is towards the P type of material, cathode is towards the N type of material. The symbol here, this is the symbol of PN junction diode. This arrow actually indicates the flow of current. So the current flows through the diode from anode to cathode, and that is indicated by this arrowhead symbol, arrowhead in this PN junction diode symbol. Now the working of this PN junction diode. So for working, what happens? We have to apply the external voltage across the two terminals of this diode, and that is generally called as a biasing or bias voltage. So based on this biasing, how we are going to apply the external voltages to the diode, based on that, diode is working in three conditions. First condition is called as a no bias condition. Second is called as a reverse bias condition, and third one is called as a forward bias condition. So now we'll see what is this no bias condition, or how diode works under no bias condition, how diode works under reverse bias condition, and how diode works under the forward bias condition. Let's see our first condition, no bias condition. So first is no bias. So no bias means what? To this diode, this is P type, this is N type, and here this is the depletion region. Here is the positive potential created, here is the negative potential created. This is anode and this is cathode. To this anode and cathode, we are not going to apply any external supply. That means the voltage applied between anode and cathode, that voltage, let's consider it is VD, it is equal to 0 volt. So this condition is called as a no bias condition. This is called as a no bias condition. This is exactly same like our ideal diode kept on our table or on our bench. In this case, what happens, since due to this depletion region created, for no more electrons from N side are able to move towards the P side, or no more holes from P side are able to move towards the N side. Okay, because what happens, due to this negative charge created towards the P type of material, this negative charge repels the electrons from N side, and this positive charge created towards the N side of this junction, what happens, the holes gets repelled by this positive charge. This positive charge repels the holes, and this negative charge repels the electrons from this N region, and that's why further diffusion of electrons and holes is not possible in this case. And by this way, under no bias condition, the diode current ID is equals to 0 milliampere. So it is the case for no bias condition. Our second condition is reverse bias. Now what is this reverse bias condition? Let's see. This is our PN junction diode. This is our depletion region. This is the potential barrier created. This is P type. This is N type, anode and cathode. So when we apply a voltage across the anode and cathode in a reverse manner, means here when we apply the negative terminal of the battery and a positive terminal of the battery is connected to the cathode, this is called as a reverse bias. Now due to this applied voltage, what happens, this anode terminal is having at a negative potential, and this due to this positive terminal of the battery, cathode is having at a positive potential. Okay, and due to this we know that in N type of materials majority carriers are nothing but the electrons, and here that majority carriers are nothing but the holes. These holes gets attracted towards this negative terminal of the battery, or we can say that these electrons are attracted towards the positive terminal of the battery. That's why more number of acceptor ions and the donor ions gets uncovered due to such type of application of the bias, and this depletion region, the more number of ions are uncovered, and due to this the width of depletion region gets increased or it gets widened. So depletion region, I'll write down in a short. So depletion region gets widened or it becomes wide as compared to no bias condition. In no bias condition, this is the width of depletion region that I have represented here. This is the width of depletion region under no bias condition, but when we apply the reverse bias, such type of voltage, the width gets increased. Okay, and since the width gets increased, the electrons are not able to cross the junction. Electrons are not able to cross the junctions. It is not possible for the electrons to move from N material to the P material. Okay, and that's why the current, diode current, let's consider ID, that diode current ID is equals to 0 milliampere in case of reverse bias condition. Okay, but we know that for P type of materials, what are the minority carriers? Minority carriers are nothing but the electrons, and in N type of material, what are the minority carriers? That minority carriers are nothing but the holes. Okay, so what happens? The minority carriers from N type of material which are present near this junction, or we can say within this depletion region, that minority carriers gets attracted due to this negative potential barrier. Okay, so holes from N type material are attracted towards P type material, or we can say that electrons that are the minority carriers from P type material are attracted towards the N type of material, and by this way minority carriers are moving from this side to this side. This is for the majority carriers. Okay, and minority carriers are moving in this direction. This is minority carriers. So the minority carriers are moving from this way. That's why we are having the reverse current flowing in opposite direction. So minority carriers are moving like this. So the minority current is moving in opposite direction. Let's consider that as a IS, that is saturation current IS. So IS is minority carrier current. That minority carrier current exists in case of reverse bias condition. So we have seen here reverse bias condition. Now our third biasing technique is forward bias. So what do you mean by forward bias? This is our PN junction diode. This is our depletion region. This is potential barrier created, P type of material, N type of material, anode and cathode. When we apply the external bias voltage in condition like this, means a positive terminal of the battery is connected to the anode and a negative terminal is connected to the cathode. This is called as a forward bias. Okay, and due to this, anode now is at positive potential, cathode is at now negative potential. Now due to this positive potential, what happens? The electrons from N type of material are able to cross the junction, means they are able to move through this junction due to the applied positive potential. Means when initially when VD is equal to 0 volt, no electrons are able to cross the junction, but when this VD increased from 0 volt, suppose 0 volt to 1 volt, 2 volt, 3 volt, like that, or we can increase that by in points as 0.2 volt, 0.4 volt, 0.6 volt, like this. What happens? The electrons are able to move through this junction, and by this way the electrons are moving in this direction, so we'll get the current in this direction. That is called as a ID current, that is the majority carrier current. And due to this, the width of depletion region is also going to reduce. Now this is the width of depletion region, this one is the actual width of depletion region, but in forward bias the width of depletion region reduces like this. And the minority carrier, due to the minority carrier also will get the current IS, that is minority carrier current, which is in opposite direction. So here we have seen the construction and working of diode in three biasing conditions. First is no bias condition, second is reverse bias condition, and third one is the forward bias condition. So this is all about today's lecture. In our next session we will discuss about the diode characteristics, that means VI characteristics of the diode. Thank you for watching the video.